Up, we have another vibrant speaker. He is a competent Toastmaster and a seasoned professional with a wealth of experience in both business management and personal development. With a remarkable experience of 35 years experience in Toastmasters, he has honed his skills as a communicator and leader, serving as a past president of the esteemed Colombo Toastmasters Club and as an area governor for Toastmasters International District 82.
His dedication to the Toastmasters community extends beyond local chapters as he has shared his experience as an educational presenter at district conferences in Sri Lanka and India. Prior to his extensive involvement in Toastmasters, Niranjan held significant leadership roles including director, CEO of Metropolitan Computers and head of HR and widely recognized, notably receiving the Achievers Award from the alumni of Postgraduate Institute of Management, PIM. Niranjan's influence transcends industry borders, as evidenced by his prestigious invitation to deliver the keynote address at the Queen's birthday banquet in Sri Lanka, underscoring his status as a respectful authority and an inspirational figure.
Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's call upon competent Toastmaster Niranjan D. Silva.
I have an announcement to make before I get onto the stage. I counted 185 vacant seats in front. Can those who are seated at the back please move in front? Because, and this session is how to fast track your growth. How to fast track your growth. So if there's anyone here, okay, let me ask you a question. How many of you are keen to fast track your growth? Okay, the others, I think, go to the other room. No, because no point being here. No point being here, ladies and gentlemen. This is a practical thing only for those who are very really serious on how to fast track the growth. So if your hand didn't go up, please go to the other room. And those who are here, can you please move forward? Because to connect with you here, I need a 5G connection. If they had told me that this hall is so long, I would have brought a pair of binoculars and come. I was not here yesterday, so I didn't know the hall is going to be so long. So, ladies and gentlemen, please move up. Please move up, because, this is Toastmasters learning. Move up. Otherwise, I'm going to be down. Or maybe I speak from here. Wow, nice picture. Taken a few years back. Is it okay if I speak from here? I think all of you can. Yeah. Because I think you seated in the first row, you can't see me. Okay, waves and see. Can you put a light on me? You can only put the red and the amber. No, okay, that's not good enough. Okay, so maybe I'll move up there for a while and then come down, because I need to connect with you, right? Okay, let me move up there. Okay, is the light okay now? Okay. Those of you who are really keen to fast track your growth, after I say 1, 2, 3, what you have to do is you have to stand up and say, yeah, 6 times, right? Only those of you who are really keen to fast track your growth, and then I will take it from there. So, ladies and gentlemen, those of you who are really keen to fast track your growth, can you please stand and say, yeah. Yeah. Wow, I'm impressed. Thank you. Take a seat. I'm impressed. I did this exercise in a big corporate company in Colombo, and I asked the same question. Those of you, it was the senior management team. I asked, those of you who are really keen to fast track your growth, stand up and say, yeah. So all of them said, yeah. One guy got onto the table. And said, yeah. By end of the year, he ended up being the CEO of the company. Now, if there are any potential CEOs, maybe you should get up on the table and say, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay? Because, ladies and gentlemen, I'll tell you something. We don't talk about this much. But we need the energy. When I move into companies, I'm trying to assess what I call the corporate energy. Because if there's no energy, how can you do anything? If there's no energy, you can't. So that is why I want to just see the level of energy that you have, because it's the people who have that energy who will move forward. Because a lot of people want to go up the ladder. But they don't have the energy. Then you can't. Okay, so first is energy. And to get the energy, you have to be fit. And there's a lot of research to say, to be fit and to have the energy, everybody needs to exercise 150 minutes a week. 150 minutes a week exercise is mandatory. So that is like 30 minutes a day. 5 days a week is 150 minutes. Exercise is mandatory, because unless you are fit, there's no way that you can go up the corporate ladder or achieve your dreams. Because it's a tough world out there. It's a tough world out there, and it is the survival of the fittest. So you got to be fit. But unfortunately, I find in Sri Lanka, people don't take this physical fitness seriously. So through the Institute of Directors and some organizations that I'm involved with, we are trying to get this as a mandatory requirement. In about another 2 years, before we recruit, we are going to check your physical fitness record. Before we promote you, we are going to check your physical fitness record. Because if your physical fitness record, if you don't have that level of energy, how are you going to go up that corporate ladder? I'm not going to talk any theory. I'm only talking practical things which I have experienced in my 35 years corporate life and another, say, 15 years in business coaching and mentoring. So you might wonder, how come? Because I started as a small boy, 10 years old, or 5 years old, like when I started, right? Okay, so no theory, only practical things that work. So I would like if you can take down some notes, because I want action. It is only the action that will create a reaction. Action creates a reaction. I do many programs like this. People listen here. Yeah. And at the end they go, oh, Mr. Ranjan, very nice presentation. But there's no point, no. Absolutely no point if nothing happens from that. So you have to listen to me for 40 minutes. I have another 40 minutes more, right? For 40 minutes, I'm going to speak to you about how to fast-track your growth, career growth, personal growth, whatever. Then, when a trigger happens, you listen to me, suddenly when I'm speaking, something will tell you, that's important to me. That's important. So you might not be able to remember everything that I say. You might not be able to take a note of everything that I say. But when I'm speaking, suddenly you'll get this, that's important to me. That is your trigger. Please make a note of that. Please make a note of that. And Harvard University in the United States of America, as well as the Stanford University, now says, if you don't put into practice what you learn within 4 hours, it just goes. If you don't put into practice within 4 hours what you learn, it just goes by. So, you have time till 4 o'clock today. There's no chance, no, because you're going from one seminar to another, and then best thing is the fun night is happening tonight. So what will happen with all these things that I am sharing with you? Will anything happen? No, it won't happen. I can guarantee you that it will not happen, but I can guarantee you, if you can just make a scribble somewhere, make a small note somewhere, hey, these are the 4 things I want to do from Niranjan's presentation, and start practicing at least tomorrow morning, something will happen. I am guaranteeing something will happen. If nothing happens, I'll give you my contact number, or contact the Toastmasters from the Colombo Toastmasters Club. I'll give you the contact number. Let me know, and I'll work with you to ensure that something happens. That is the challenge I'm giving. Because everyone whom I worked with, things have worked. But you have to be conscious. Consistency is the mother of mastery. So you have to be consistent. You have to be consistently doing it. And conviction. over convenience. These are two words I learned from my gurus in the United States, Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi. I think they're very powerful questions. Consistency is the mother of mastery, so you've got to be consistent in what you're doing, and conviction over convenience. Some people take it very, not convenient, no, conviction. I also normally like to take the convenient path, I'm telling you. I also have that weakness. I also like to take the convenient path. But fortunately, there's another person at home who's fully convicted. So, I mean, when you get the average, T plus T, divide by 2, I think average is still okay. So that's the first thing. Energy, put into practice what you learn, what you think is relevant to you, make a note, and start practicing latest tomorrow morning. First thing. Okay. How many of you have a compelling personal dream? I'll explain that very clearly before I ask you to put the hands up. How many of you have a compelling, passionate, personal dream? And that is, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, this is where I want to be, professionally and personally. How many of you have that dream? 1, 2, 3, can I see a show of hands? Okay, very good. This is above the Sri Lankan average. Above the Sri Lankan average, I can tell you. Okay, then, I'm very happy that you have a dream. How many of you are living that dream? Okay, good, okay, fine. That is the first step, friends, that compelling dream. And when I say compelling, it must be so compelling, you're so passionately waiting to get there. What I call this like your lighthouse. That is my lighthouse. That is my dream. I have to get there, right? And just because you have the lighthouse and the dream, I'm not saying you can, without any problem move there. But as long as you have the lighthouse, you can move there. There'll be waves, there'll be rocks. You might have to compromise on what you do, but you do not compromise on your dream. You might have to compromise in what you do, but you never, ever compromise on your dream. I think this is one of the biggest problems I find with the younger generation. They are a little bit lost. Now, last week a guy came and told me, Mr. Jansson, I finished my accountancy. I said, very good, but I said, before that you did some technical. Yes, I did a technical course also. And sir, now I want to start a hospitality course. I said, okay, hang on. You did accountancy course, you did a technical course, now you want to do a hospitality course. What do you want to do after that? He looked at me, that is the problem. So I said, there's a glass of water, I told him I can help him in anything that he does, but I can't tell him where he has to go. But if he knows where he has to go, then I can help him to get there. So this is the first thing, right? I think everyone should have that dream. By the way, I think the MCs forgot to announce. Dr. Jayalat is from Kandy. I am from Kandy. So this stage seems to be reserved for people from Kandy. Thank you. I mean for these two sessions. So I'm old Trinitian. I don't know whether the MC said that. I'm old Trinitian. And, I had this friend of mine, school day friend, who was a very, very shy person. Very shy, quite introvert, doesn't mix with people, right? But they were family friends because our family business and his father's family business was down the same road, right? So I had this good friend who was very shy. And I don't know whether there are any other Trinitians. We'll get the survey later. But Trinity College, what happens when the school finishes at 3 o'clock? And when the gates open and we walk out of the school, there are nice girls from the girls' schools in the vicinity waiting near the gate to get a glimpse of the Trinitians. So I'm telling you. Yeah, those who are booing must be from a school where that doesn't happen. So, I mean, what can I do? What can I do? I'm telling this happens at Trinity College. So we come out of school, and my friend he never establishes any eye contact with any of these girls. He looked down and walked. Even my eye contact was not so good at that time. If I had only joined Toastmasters and if I had better eye contact, I would have had a better time. But my friend was a very reserved person. He will look down and then he joined Toastmasters around the same time that I joined Toastmasters. Around the same time that I joined Toastmasters, he joined Toastmasters. And again, he was very shy. Very often, when round robin is going and it's coming close to him, he says, I'll go to the washroom and come. This went on for some time, but there was something different in this person. Because at that time, there was only one club in Sri Lanka, the Colombo Toastmasters Club. It's the first club in Asia, South Asia, and we had only one club in Colombo in Sri Lanka, which is the Colombo Toastmasters Club. And the impression that we got when we joined Colombo Toastmasters Club is this Toastmasters is an exclusive club reserved for a few people. But my friend thought, hey, this is a huge benefit, man. This is a huge benefit that we are developing in this forum, which is our communication skills, self-confidence, leadership skill. I think we should spread this around. So this man had that vision. But some senior members said, no, it's a closed-door club. But anyway, he didn't give up. He contacted some Indians, and he also knew a friend of his who was in Pennsylvania in the United States, Dr. Dilip Abeysekara. Dr. Dilip Abeysekara was the first Sri Lankan to be the international president. He's now residing in the US. And he even brought Dr. Dilip Abeysekara here to speak to our members, to say why we should grow this organization without limiting it to one club. And Dr. Dilip Abeysekara also spoke. And then I think Dr. Dilip Abeysekara became his mentor. When Dilip Abeysekara was inducted the president of Toastmasters International, I think about 20 or 25 of us went to Toronto for the installation of Dr. Dilip Abeysekara as the international president of Toastmasters. When we went to Toronto, Dr. Dilip Abeysekara took this gentleman who had a passion, a severe passion to grow this organization, to grow Toastmasters, took this gentleman to the headquarters of Toastmasters International, showed the president's seat and said, my friend, you should be sitting there. And a few years later, he sat there. Ladies and gentlemen, none other than my schoolmate, international president, Arunachalam Balraj. Give a round of applause to him. So that is the power of a dream. You have a dream, you never give up. So that is what I call your vision statement. What is your vision statement? Harvard and Stanford, they say if an organization does not have a clear vision and a mission, that organization might last for 10 years. If an organization does not have a clear vision and mission, they say last for about 10 years and then they are gone because they didn't have a proper vision, they didn't know where they were going, and they are bust. But my research shows, if you don't have a personal vision and mission, you might crash faster than an organization. So that is the power of that vision. I mean, I had another classmate in Trinity College, right? From the age of 14, he used to say, I want to be CEO of a company. I want to be CEO of a company. He got through O-levels with great difficulty, didn't sit for the A-levels, and finally ended up being the chairman of two of Sri Lanka's largest companies. I'm not surprised because they're all Trinitians. Vision, right? Your vision. Please have that set in your mind. That is my lighthouse. Then once you get the vision, they say vision comes from ambition and mission comes from religion. So mission are your beliefs, and the vision is the dream that you have to get to. Now to get to that place, there's another very important thing that is required, essential, which is the passion. Passion drives performance. I'll Say it again. Passion drives performance. It's the people who are really passionate. They are the people who go up the corporate ladder because they are so passionate, and you can see these passionate people when you speak to them. You can see who's passionate and not. So just to check your passion level, I have another question. Today is Saturday. Tomorrow and tonight is fun night. Tomorrow Sunday. And then Monday comes. How many of you who are working, who work from Monday to Friday, wake up on Monday morning and jump out of bed to eagerly waiting to get to work? You see the percentage now? See the percentage? Less than 1%, no? No, sorry, I can't accept your response. I can't accept your response because Harvard University again says, don't accept a single response that comes after 4 seconds. Because this is not a question. This is not a question you have to think, do I get up in the morning? Either you get up or you don't get up. So I will only accept the responses that came out like that, which was only about 5 out of maybe 500 here. So now this is a problem. You have a dream, but you don't have the passion. You got to align these two. If you don't have the passion, how will you realize that dream? How will you realize the dream if you are not passionate? If you don't jump out of bed Monday, Tuesday, eagerly waiting to get to work, to go up the corporate ladder, you look at where the lighthouse is, okay, I need to get there, right? If the passion is not there, how am I going to move there? No one is going to push you. I'm the one who brought Acer to Sri Lanka, Acer computers. I hope all of you are using Acer. If you're not using Acer, next computer you buy should be Acer. When I set up the technical division for Acer, I remember on one day, 15th February 1985, I recruited 10 young boys. 10 young boys to be technicians in the Acer service division. 10 young boys. All these 10 young boys joined on the same day, 15th February 1985. And they all had a similar qualification. NDT, National Diploma in Technology, German Tech, Higher National Diploma in Technology. All of them, young boys, similar qualification. 10 boys joined the service division. One of them moved right up to GM level in 7 years. Others were still there, not at GM level. Now, what is that the person who moved up to GM level, what is it that he had that none of the others had? None of the others had. Burning passion. Burning passion. We ran into a technical problem, and in Acer, about 2 years after we brought, and this guy was more concerned about the problem than me or Acer Singapore or Acer Taiwan. He used to work till about 7:30 in the night, and one day I get a call at 5:30 in the morning. And at that time, no mobile phones. So when the landline rings early morning, you get worried, no? So early morning, I got up and went, Mr. Rianjan, Anura here. Name was Anura. I said, yeah, why? Any problem? No, Mr. Rianjan, that problem sorted out. I said, wow, man, you're a great guy, fantastic. But why do you wake me up at 5:30 in the morning? He said, no, I thought I must tell you immediately. I must give you the news immediately. So that day we had a small celebration to celebrate the success, the fact that we resolved the problem in Colombo before they resolved the problem in Singapore or Taiwan. So when we were having this celebration, the chief security officer is coming and telling me, sir, I don't know, sir, what is wrong with this gentleman? Going to Anura. I asked, why? No, sir. He comes to office, 3:30 in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning. He comes to office, he says, open the technical division. He goes to the technical division, and I don't know what he's doing in the technical division. So I call Anura, come here. What is this security guard saying that you come at 3:34 in the morning? No, Mr. Ranjan, the thing is, I don't fall asleep, no. It's a big problem, no. I don't fall asleep. I am falling asleep. He's not falling asleep. So when I go to sleep, suddenly I get this idea. Now, I want to immediately come and check out. So he had a small Volkswagen car. He'll drive from California, open the technical division, he'll do, and he resolved the problem before Singapore, Taiwan. He got a scholarship to Singapore, he got a scholarship to Taiwan. Moved up to GM level, and today he is a chairman of one of the largest technology companies in Malaysia. Every 1st January he calls me to wish for the new year. And this January, when he called, he said, Mr. Niranjan, come to KL, Mr. Niranjan. I bought a small holiday villa. We can go and spend some time in my holiday villa. And I also bought a brand new Mercedes S400 car, Mr. Niranjan, which is about 200 million rupees here. I'll come and pick you up from the airport, Mr. Niranjan. Come to KL. If you want, I'll send you the ticket also. So that happened to only one technician, no? Other guys are still around. Other guys are still around. So what is it that he had that the others didn't have? That passion. Friends, you got to find the passion. Okay, I'll give a find your passion, but after you're financially stable. No? Because I gave this presentation, next day itself, one guy, he went and said, I'm resigning from the job. I'm resigning from the job. And then the head of HR said, why are you resigning? No. I listened to Niranjan yesterday. And he said, if there's no passion, no point. You're not going to grow. I have no passion. I'm resigning. So he resigned. And then he's calling me 2 months later, now what to do? So friends, don't go and give your resignation tomorrow if you find that your job is you're not very passionate about what you're doing and you think that you might not be able to move up fast, right? But what I'm saying is, once you find that passion, and you're financially stable, please go on that track, because that is the fast track to development. I mean, there were 3 bankers. They are known to Toastmasters. There were 3 bankers. They were working in a top bank. And all 3 of them resigned from the bank. And they said, I'm resigning from the bank because we are not passionate about banking. And then I asked, what are you going to do? So we are getting onto digital photography. And today they have one of the largest digital photographic companies in this country. And now going regional. And he was saying, now we are following our passion and we are even better off than being a banker. Another friend of mine, can you imagine a lawyer in Australia, Melbourne, calls and said, Niranjan, I gave up law. I mean, this guy was earning millions. I gave up my job. I said, why? I'm not passionate about going and, lying in front of judges, I don't know if the lawyers lie. I don't know. That's what he said. I'm not passionate about lying in front of judges, so I just quit the job because I don't like this. So what are you going to do now? I am going to follow my passion. I asked, what is your passion? He said, my passion is good food. So I'm going to follow my passion. He became a chef, giving up the legal job. And today, he's a chef of one of the most expensive restaurants in Melbourne. Now, at the end of the presentation, please don't come and ask me the names, right? Because I have got their permission to share the story. I will not give the names. Balraj, I got the permission. In fact, I sent a message last night. Balraj, is it okay if I cover? He did not even see the message. So I spoke to him today. Balraj, I'm going to do this. It's okay. No, I mean, schoolmates. What are schoolmates for, right? Okay. So that is where the passion comes from. So please find your passion. Passion drives performance. Next one. That might be able to help you is what I call a role model. Role model. Because if you have, it's not essential, but I've had role models from time to time. Right now, my role model is Robin Sharma. So I'm working with Robin Sharma. I'm attending his workshops. I told Robin Sharma, Robin, I want to come and work for you. He said, no, I don't take people. I said, no, I'll pay to come and work for you. Because one thing, friends, you have to realize. If you want to be the best, you have to be with the best. I'll repeat that again. If you want to be the best, you got to be with the best. So associate with the best. Learn from them. Have them as a role model. I've had role models from time to time. And they have been enormous. I call them, I watch them, I try to learn from them at least every night, about 2 hours. I am on online programs with my gurus in the United States. Otherwise, my knowledge is going to get rusty. Things out there are changing so fast, you've got to change as well. So have a role model. Many years back, we were going to Gaul. For a communication program. And because we left Colombo very early, we stopped in Ambalangoda to have a cup of tea. So we are having a cup of tea and a bunnies. Cup of tea and a bunnies in Ambalangoda in a small wayside boutique. Next to this wayside boutique was a playground. And there were 6 young boys playing cricket. And all of them were highly enthusiastic, energetic, playing a pretty good game of cricket. So while sipping my tea and the bunnies, I noticed one guy was definitely more charged up, more energetic than the others. And this is the time I was doing my MBA, at the PIM. I was doing my MBA, and I was doing a research on what motivates people. So I told my friends here, before we go, I just want to have a chat with these guys. So I went, and I spoke to them, and they told me in Sinhalese, of course. They said, uncle, we are from the school over there. We are from the school over there. I said, yeah, you're playing good cricket. yes. Then I asked one guy, he said, what is your role? Sir, I'm a batsman, sir. I'm a batsman. I'm a batsman. The another guy said, wicket keeper, bowler, fielder. And then I asked the guy who was fully energized and charged up. I said, what is your role? Sir, I'll tell in Sinhalese and then I'll translate to English. He looked at me and said, Sir, Mama Tamai, Sri Lanka next Sanat Jayasuriya. That was the gesture. And this was during Sanat Jayasuriya's time. So he did this and said, I am Sri Lanka's Sanat Jayasuriya, because he was one of the best cricketers at that time in this country. So now, see, what is it that he had that the others didn't have? He had a role model. I mean, he was emulating Sanat Jayasuriya. He had pictures of Sanat Jayasuriya. He was saying, me, sir, I'm Sanat Jayasuriya. 5 years later, he's the only one from those 6 boys who got into the Sri Lanka cricket team. And he became better than Sanat Jayasuriya. I'm only giving one story because of the limited time. But I have so many stories. People might think, these are trivial things. No, these are not trivial. This is the essence. This is the essence of your growth. See whether you can have a role model that you can look at and say, hey, one day I want to be like him or her. Then you can emulate that person. You can move that way. We all believe in God, but we don't see God. No, that's a problem. But at least if you have a role model, you can speak to that person. You can see what he has done to get there. And then move on. Okay? So I hope you have taken down some points, few more things, and then I'm done. Soft skills versus hard skills. A lot of the Sri Lankans like to collect qualifications. They like to collect qualifications. Many years back, I think Dr. Jailat might be able to enlighten. I read a report that we have the highest per capita diploma, certificates, degrees, and doctorates in entire Asia. Yeah, Sri Lanka is rated as the #1 country. Sri Lanka has the highest per capita diploma, certificates, degrees, and doctorates in entire Asia. That means if you take all the people who have some qualification and divide by the population, we are #1. I mean, that deserves a round of applause, no? No, yeah. But the problem is this. With all that, where are the organizations and where is the country? That is the issue, no? Highest per capita diploma, certificate, degrees, and doctorates, but are we benefiting from that? No, we are not, because we are just collecting paper certificates. So my advice to you, before you spend any money doing any qualification or any program, from today onwards, ask yourself, is this helping me to get to my lighthouse? Don't do anything else. Don't waste money. Every day when you wake up, you must ask yourself, am I slowly getting to my lighthouse? I want to do this course, but how is it helping me to get to my lighthouse? No, it's not helping me, then don't do it. Don't waste time. Because time is the only thing that once you've gone, it's gone forever. Investment, I tell some business people, investment, if we lose the investment, we can bring it in. We can bring another investment in. But time, if you lose, it's gone forever. We can never get it back. So don't lose time doing the wrong thing. I'm giving you an easy idea, decide what to do and not to do. Will this help me to get to my lighthouse? Because whether you have a first class honors, PhD even, today that academic skill is only worth 20% of your net worth. It is 20% of your net worth. I'm telling you because I work with some multinational companies. Right now I have working with a German company, they want to set up the operations here. Vice President, Business Development, first class honors, and MBA, 20%. That's it. So don't think you just because you collect some certificates and qualifications that you will get a high score. No, maximum you get 20%. Then the president told me, you need the qualification because it opens the door. So you need it to open the door. But once the door opens with your qualification and you walk in and the door closes, that is not worth anything more than 20%. Then the question is, where does the balance 80% come from? Even if you are the most brilliant person, it's only worth 20%. Where does the balance 80% come from? Ladies and gentlemen, the balance 80% is soft skills. And I'll tell you the 3 top soft skills that organizations are looking for today. Leadership skill. You have to be a leader. Then if you're a leader, for you to become a leader, you should be able to inspire and influence your team members. Is that correct? If you're a leader, you should be able to inspire and influence your team members. Now, to inspire and influence your team members, what is the skill that you need? Communication skill. Second top soft skill that they are looking at, motivation skills. Can this person continuously motivate the entire team to achieve a higher level of performance, right? Can this person continuously motivate the entire team to achieve a higher level of performance? So they are looking at motivating people. To motivate, what is the skill that you need? Communication skill. Third one, they're asking, are you a great team leader who can synchronize the entire team to achieve the team objectives? You are the team leader. You got to synchronize the entire team to achieve the team objectives. What is the skill that you need? Communication skill. So, ladies and gentlemen, in short, 80% of your net worth comes from these 3 soft skills. There are other skills as well, but most of the 80% comes from these 3 top soft skills. And the foundation of all those 3 top soft skills is the communication skill, which we are developing at Toastmasters. So I think you have that huge benefit. Now you have sort of laid the foundation, but you have to take this seriously. You have to take this seriously and use that skill to go up the corporate ladder. Many years back, I had to recruit an engineer to be sent to Japan. I'm working with a Japanese company. I've been working with the Japanese for 35 years. That's why I look also a bit Japanese now. So I had to recruit an engineer to be sent to Japan. And a smart guy came for the interview. And he smiled and I said, good morning, how are you? And I said, please tell me something about yourself. I just told that, please tell me something about yourself. He looked at me and, is it about me? Can you believe? And this is coming for the final interview. First interviews were done by a recruiting company. Immediately I sacked the recruiting company. Because I was so embarrassed. If I was there alone, it's okay. Here 2 other Japanese guys are there. So again, I told him very polite, excuse me, in 1 or 2 sentences, can you please tell us something about yourself? Again, he mumbled something. I didn't understand. And I'm a very impatient guy. I don't know why I'm so impatient, but I'm impatient, So when this happened twice, I basically gave up and told the Japanese guy, you better have a chat with him. Maybe he speaks Japanese. So my Japanese boss did like this to me and said, oh, Mr. Niranjan, I think you better look at the CV. Because I had not looked at the CV. Because I stopped looking at CVs 25 years ago, prior to interview. You know why? Many people had international standard CVs. But they were not international standard. So then I thought I'm wasting my time, no? So I told HR, human resource, you look at CV, you do anything with the CV. I will only look at the CV if I am impressed with the person. So since then, I don't look at a person's CV prior to an interview. If I'm impressed at the interview, then I look at the CV and see, okay, good. But when my boss says, look at the CV, I have to look at the CV. And I got a shock of my life. First class honors degree in computer science from a top university in this country. And while getting that first class honors degree, he has also finished 1 part of CIMA, accounting also done. And here he is in front of us, struggling to tell us who he is. So I told him to wait in the reception for 1 hour. I will come and speak to you because don't go home, right? Please wait in the reception because world-class CV. So I asked whether he can wait. He said, oh, so I was not too sure whether he'll wait or not. I told the department secretary, take him to the reception, give him tea, coffee, brandy, whiskey, anything. Don't let him go home. I finished my interview, he was there, I had to chat. I said, what happened, man? You have a world-class CV and I asked you, tell me something about yourself. And you look at me and ask, what do I do? I said, when I looked at the CV, having a world-class CV like this, why could you confidently tell us who you are? He's a cool guy. He's fine. And again, he said in Sinhalese, I'll translate to English if I can. He's fine. And he said, sir, a pirunu kale, dear no sali. Now, I was speechless for a while. That is, my pot is full. How to translate? My pot is full. When the pot is full, you don't shake the pot. Or maybe something like that. Anyway, don't take it seriously. So I said, I thought for a while and I said, how do I know that your pot is full? Hey, you have to confidently tell us who you are. I sent him to a friend of mine. Unfortunately, this guy migrated to Australia. I said, you go to my friend. You don't have to even pay anything. But you have to go minimum twice a month. Because consistency is the mother of mastery. Twice a month. He went to my friend. I'm getting update. Here, how is Mr. Pirunukale getting on? He went to my friend twice a month, 3 times a month, 4 times a month. Religiously followed that program. And 6 months later, he gives me a call and says, Mr. Niranjan, your friend, hi. I said, Mr. Pirunukale, how are you? Sir, good, sir. Good, sir. Calling you to give you some good news, sir. Can you remember when we met at the Taj? I told you I was working in the software company and I was getting 850,000 rupees a month. Sir, can you guess my net worth now? Can you just think about my net? I said, I don't know, man, because your kale is full, no? He said, sir, today I'm worth $1 million. Because he went from the software company to his own startup, which he had with 2 of his university friends, and he promoted the fintech solution that the startup had to a venture capital company, American venture capital company, and the American venture capital company came and invested $1 million. And then he said, sir, thank you for helping me to develop my communication skill. Otherwise, I'll be still working for 850, 900,000, 1 million Sri Lankan rupees, no, sir. As at today, he is worth $2.2 million. Same man, same qualification, earlier worth 850,000 Sri Lankan rupees. Today worth $2.2 million. What is the difference? The difference is he built up his communication skill. And when you build up that communication skill, slowly you build up your self-confidence. And with that self-confidence, you build the leadership skill to take you to the international stage. As someone said, I don't know who said this originally. I forget the name of the guy who said, it's not my saying. Destiny is not a matter of chance. Because in Sri Lanka, when everything goes wrong, there is a nice term. Ayyo, what to do, man? Karume. Karma. But this saying says, destiny is not a matter of chance, it is a matter of choice. And it is not something to be waited for. You can't say, give me. No, it is not something to be waited for. It is something to be achieved. I wish you all the best. Still at the amber. Okay, still at the amber. So until the red light comes, you can ask questions. Until the red light comes. And this one says 5 minutes. My watch says 2 minutes. Okay. Red light came. So one quick question. Like Dr. Jayalat said, 600 Toastmasters. Not a single question. How can that be? Okay, madam, sorry. I don't know if I have anything to pass around. You can shout. Yeah, just. Okay, we'll take that. I'm happy. At least one lady asked a question. Give a round of applause to the lady. Yay! Okay, madam, what is your question?
So, as a youngsters, when we don't, youngsters, young, crowd, including you.
Okay.
So when we don't see a progress as a result that we want immediately, we tend to think, trying to give up. As you say, the fast for the, we trying to achieve everything immediately. So when we lose such hope in those times, what would be the advice you will give it those youngsters to keep going?
What I said before. Conviction over convenience. Convenience is, give it up. Give it up. Conviction is keep going, keep going, keep going until you achieve it. I've had many youngsters saying this, right? I said, don't give up, don't give up. I motivate them, right? Finally, they achieved. Because, you might be in a position, you have done all this, right? Now, you have just come to this turn, right? Just a small turn that is required. You are here, you take this small turn and you are there. At that place, you give up. It has happened to so many people. Thank you for asking that question. I have seen many people coming to the edge, right? Next one is the promotion. Next one is the promotion. This is not working, no. And then they go back. What a pity, right? Good question. That is why focus on your lighthouse. I thank you very much. Thank you very much. All the best.
Thank you to our competent Toastmaster Niranjan De Silva for helping us fast track our growth. I'm sure you are all ready to be on the fast track right now. Ladies and gentlemen, let us give another huge round of applause to our competent Toastmaster Niranjan De Silva.